In today's video, we are going to discuss chapter number 4, Atomic Structure and Chemical Bonding, from the book A New Approach to ICSE Chemistry, Class 9th. In this chapter, we will discuss the atomic structure and the different kind of bonds which are formed between the two different kind of atoms. Before moving into the explanation, let's recall few things from the previous class. The first thing which we would like to recall from the previous class is matter. Here you can see the word matter is there. Let's discuss what is the matter first. Anything which occupies space and has mass and can be perceived by our senses is known as matter. ਦੁਨੀਆ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਾਰੀਆਂ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਦਾ ਭਾਰ ਹੈਗਾ, ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਅਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਸੈਂਸ ਆਰਗਨਸ ਨਾਲ ਮਹਿਸੂਸ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਅਤੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਥਾਂ ਘੇਰਦੇ ਨੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਅਸੀਂ ਮੈਟਰ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਹਾਂ. Every matter in this world is made up of tiny particles which are known as atoms. Let's see with the help of an slide that what is atom. You can see here a mass of few particles is there, and the full mass is known as matter. And we know that the matter is made up of tiny particles which are known as atoms. So you consider these small spherical balls as the individual atoms. If we zoom up, we see that every atom is having some sort of subatomic particles in it. If we zoom up to a single atom, we see that an atom is made up of three different kind of subatomic particles. The one you can see protons, neutrons and electrons. Now the nucleus of an atom has been zoomed up, and it is clearly visible that nucleus of an atom consists of two different types of subatomic particles. You can see some green spherical subatomic particles and some pink spherical subatomic particles. Actually, these two consists of protons and neutrons. The one subatomic particle which is green in color, you can consider it as a proton, and the one which is pink in color, you can consider it as a neutron. It means that nucleus consists of two subatomic particles, and those are protons and neutrons. Protons are having positive charge and the neutrons are not having any kind of charge on it. Collectively, both protons and neutrons are called nucleons. The blue colored spherical balls, these are the electrons, and these revolve around the nucleus in this specific path. So here we have discussed that an atom is having three subatomic particles known as protons, neutrons and electrons. The electrons are having negative charge and the protons are having positive charge. And one more thing, that the number of protons is always equal to the number of electrons. This is the reason why an atom is always electrically neutral. An atom is electrically neutral because number of protons is always equal to the number of electrons, the number of protons are always equal to the number of electrons. So an atom is electrically neutral. Now let's see all these things which we have discussed on the book. Here you can see that some introduction is given. The introduction is same as what we have discussed right now. There may be some few more things. Let's discuss the introduction now. As by now we have come to know that every matter is made up of tiny particles which is known as atom. And in our country, in India, the idea of the tiniest unit of matter, which is called Anu and Pramanu in Sanskrit, was discovered by Maharishi Kannad. So Maharishi Kannad was a sage in India, in our country. He was the first person to propound the tiniest particles of the matter, which in English is known as atom, but in Sanskrit is known as Anu and Pramanu. After Maharishi Kannad, the Greek philosopher known as Democritus, he proposed that every matter is made up of small particles, and those small particles were called the atoms in English. Later then, Mr. John Dalton, he was another scientist. He published a theory and he said that an atom is indivisible. Means to say that atom cannot be divided into further more parts. Later on, William Crookes, J.J. Thomson and Goldstein, three of these different scientists, they discovered that the different subatomic particles present in the atom, which are known as electrons, protons and neutrons, are having different sort of charges on it. The protons are having positively charged, the electrons are negatively charged, and the neutrons are having no charge on it. These charged particles were named later on by the Rutherford and Neil Bohr as electrons, protons and neutrons. The earlier scientists William Crookes, J.J. Thomson and Goldstein, they discovered the charge on different particles, while the different names electrons, protons and neutrons were given later on by Rutherford and Neil Bohr scientists. It has been established that the central part, which is known as nucleus of the atom, it consists of protons and neutrons only, and collectively they are called nucleons, and the structure is called nucleus. And the electrons, which are revolving around the nucleus, they are having negatively charged and they continuously revolve around the nucleus. As the number of electrons and the number of protons are equal in an atom, therefore we can say that an atom is electrically neutral. So topic number 4.1, which we have discussed right now, is the introduction to the atomic structure and chemical bonding. Moving on further, the first scientist which discovered about the atoms was John Dalton. And this scientist, John Dalton, gave a theory which is known as Dalton's atomic theory. There are several points which has been illustrated by him. Now we will be discussing about the different points of Dalton's atomic theory, and I will be explaining you with the help of a video also. The first point of Dalton's atomic theory is that the matter consists of small, indivisible particles called atoms. All the elements, compounds and mixtures, they are all the state of matter, and all matter, whether it's an element, a compound or a mixture, all of these are made up of tiny particles, and these tiny particles are called atoms, as we have discussed earlier. The second point says all atoms of a given element are identical in shape, size, mass and chemical properties. Here you can see two different atoms of iron, Fe. These two atoms of iron, they are very much identical to each other. The size is same of two atoms. And if we try to weigh them on a beam balance, we will see that they are having same mass also. It means the same atoms, it means the different atoms of same element will have same mass, same size, and they will also possess same chemical properties. And if you want to look this point on your book, you can see that atoms of same elements are alike in all respect. This is the point which we have seen right now in the video. Let's look into the next point, and the point says that the atoms of the different elements differ in size, mass and chemical properties. Here we can see the two different atoms of different elements. The one is iron, Fe, the another one is sulfur, that is S. And we can see that the size of these two atoms is not identical. The atoms of different elements don't have identical size. And if we try to weigh them, we will conclude that the mass of these two atoms is also not identical. The mass of iron is heavier than the mass of one atom of sulfur. It means they are having different masses. On the whole, it concludes that they have different chemical properties also. And here you can see the atoms of the different elements are different in all respects. Let's see further. Atoms are indivisible particles which can neither be created nor it can be destroyed in a chemical reaction. This means that every atom is indivisible, and if they combine together to form a compound also, then also they are indivisible. They combine together in a fixed whole number ratio to form a compound. For example, in front of you, you can see the iron and sulfur combine together in the ratio of 1:1 to form a compound known as iron sulfide. and iron sulfide is a compound. Only the atoms can be rearranged in a chemical reaction, while the atom of the element does not change into atom of another element. And here are the points that the atoms combine in a small whole number ratio, and the smallest particle which takes part in the chemical reaction is an atom. So these all points were given by the John Dalton, and these all points are known as Dalton's atomic theory. Actually, this Dalton atomic theory was given in 1808, and since then there were several other changes done by the other scientists also, and now in the 21st century the other scientists have also given a new theory that is known as modern atomic theory. This modern atomic theory is quite different from the Dalton's atomic theory. The differences between the Dalton atomic theory and the modern atomic theory has been given in the book, and both the theories are opposite to each other. The modern atomic theory says that now the atom is no longer indivisible, but it consists of neutrons, protons and electrons. The second point of modern atomic theory says that there are some elements which are having atoms, but these atoms of the same elements can also have different properties. While we have seen in Dalton atomic theory that the same elements are having the atoms of same chemical properties, while the modern atomic theory says that the same element can possess the atoms which are having different chemical properties. Third point of modern atomic theory says that different elements can also have the atoms which may possess similar chemical properties. While Dalton atomic theory said that different elements will have different chemical properties. The fourth point of the modern atomic theory says the atoms may do not combine in a small whole number ratio. Meaning is that the combining ratio can be bigger, need not to be small whole number ratio, while Dalton said that the combining atoms should be in the small whole number ratio. So these were the differences between Dalton atomic theory and modern atomic theory. The similarity between the both theories is that the atom is the smallest unit of matter, and this smallest unit of matter takes part in a chemical reaction. So that's all in this video.